Happy 4th of July, everybody, and today we are doing the Battleground maps for the governor races, senate races, and the presidential race as well. And we're doing double uploads from now on because I just keep making videos non-stop because I have no life. So we're just going to go ahead and start filling out the map. Now, of course, this is being made on June 24th. You're seeing this on July 4th. Yeah. So a lot of things could happen, yada yada yada, keep that in mind. So let's start filling out these safe states. Washington is a safe blue easily. Delaware is safe blue. The safe Republican states is Utah, in North Dakota, Indiana. It could have been likely blue if Bill Levin won the Libertarian nomination, but he did not, and Vermont is all safe. The rest of these states, there's only going to be one toss-up state, and you'll see that later. But Missouri will be likely red, as well as New Hampshire. Chris Sununu is most likely going to face off against Dan Feltz, but I don't see Feltz being that great of a challenger considering the popularity of Sununu. Mike Parson, he's an okay candidate for the race, and Missouri is becoming redder and redder, and it wouldn't surprise me if Galloway were to make it closer than likely are. But as of now, putting in the likely are column, it could end up becoming toss-up before November, but at this point, I don't know. West Virginia, that is going to be lean R. Jim Justice is not a popular governor, but he's going up against a no-named candidate. If he was facing off against Ojeda, it would be toss-up, but I'm keeping it in the lean R column as of now because the Brian Sedalgo, I think his name is just a no-name candidate. There's nothing really special about the guy. And I see Justice winning it roughly by 4 to 3 percentage points. Roy Cooper, on the other hand, I'm going to say, well, with him ordering the Confederate stuff to be taken down and letting these writers tear down statues, I'm going to put North Carolina in the toss-up column. I think a lot of voters in the deep red counties, Alexander, Iredell, and Caldwell, they're going to pull out great. Even though they are small counties, they can pull out big numbers if need be, and a lot of people are getting sick and tired of Roy Cooper, despite his popularity being at 47-48%, and I do expect it to drop. Come August, this could go back up to lean blue, if I had to guess, but as of now, I'm keeping it in the toss-up column. It might be wishful thinking, but who knows. Montana, I'm also going to keep that in the toss-up column, just for the simple fact that I think Mike Cooney and Greg Gianforte, I don't know who would win. It's either going to be tilt blue, tilt R. It's going to be a close race either way. But here's the final Battleground map, 26-22 with 2 seats left up in the air. Next up, we have the Senate races. Let's start filling out these safe red states since I did the safe blue for the governors. Alaska is safe red no matter what. Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, not Kansas. Louisiana, Arkansas, not Iowa. I was going to put Iowa, but I don't think it'd be safe. Mississippi, Alabama is safe red. Yes. Lindsey Graham is going to win his seat by at least 12. That's fine. Tuberville will win by 14. Sessions will win by 16, if I had to guess. Tennessee will be safe no matter if it's Sethi or Haggerty. West Virginia could have been likely R, but they nominated Paul Gene Swearingen over Richard Ojeda, so they kind of, Democrats in West Virginia shot themselves in the foot. That's it for Democrats. Oregon is not safe blue, and I'll explain why here in a minute. New Mexico, however, is safe blue. Mark Ronchetti is not that strong of a candidate, no matter what people say. That is just my opinion. And Ben Ray Lujan is an amazing candidate, very popular in the state of New Mexico. He's just probably the best. Probably Democrats really did well picking up Ben Ray Lujan. He's probably your best candidate in New Mexico. Republicans could have gotten either Gary Johnson or Susana Martinez, but they didn't. Instead, they got Mark Ronchetti and a weatherman, I think he is. Illinois is safe blue no matter what. Delaware safe blue. New Jersey, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, no matter if it's Ed Markey or Joe Kennedy III. And that is all. So right now we have 41 seats for Democrats and 43 seats for Republicans. Let's go on to the likely blue states. Oregon is going to be likely blue. Joey Perkins is actually going to pull out that Trump vote. If Trump wins it by a likely margin, which I do think he will, then she will win it by a likely margin. Trump is going to help her down ballot, and that's why I believe she'll win it by 9, like Trump will, or Markley will win by 9, like how Biden will win the state by 9. So yeah. Other likely blue states, Virginia. If Thomas Special would have gotten the nomination, it would have been lean blue, but Daniel Gade got the nomination. So, Republicans shot themselves in the foot. Daniel Gade is not that strong of a candidate. He's not. Mark Warner is probably going to win by 7 to 8 percentage points. It's not going to be like a tilt blue like it did last time where he won by less than 1. That was a red wave year. This is not a red wave year. This is a general election, and people sometimes love to vote down ballot. And Biden's probably going to win by a lean margin, but Warner's probably going to do better. I think Warner's just a better candidate all around than Biden, but... and there's the 2 lean blue states. Now it's time for the lean red states. Kansas, right now, I'm going to put as lean R. If Marshall's the candidate, it's safe. If Kobach is the nominee, it's lean. Kobach, not a strong candidate. We could lose Kansas. If Barbara Boilier, or however you pronounce her name, puts on a strong campaign, a strong showing with polls, it could go tilt blue. Who knows? But as of right now, I'm putting in the likely red column. Same thing with Cornyn, or well, not the same thing, because MJ Hager and Royce Rest are not strong candidates. They don't have that beta mania power that Beto O'Rourke did back in 2018. They're not strong candidates. This is also, again, general election. Voters will vote down ballot, helping Cornyn a lot more. If I had to get Cornyn might win by a safe margin, but as of now, I'm putting in the likely red column. Iowa, Teresa Greenfield, I thought was a bad candidate at first, which would have helped Joni Ernst, but then I started looking at polling that had her down, Ernst down by 3, which if you were to properly weight that, it'd probably be something like 2 or 1, maybe even less than 1 in Greenfield's favor, but still. Then I did some research. She's not that bad of a candidate. I don't agree with anything she says, but Iowa's going to be likely red. Same thing with Kentucky. Kentucky might end up being safe red at the end of the day, but as of now, putting in the likely red column. I don't know if it's Brown, or is it Brown? I can't remember his name, but it's either Brown or Bowman. I think it's Bowman. It's either going to be Bowman or McGrath. I could be wrong. I don't know the final result yet. I don't think Kentucky's going to release that information for a bit. But either way, it's going to be likely R. These 2 candidates are not that strong candidates. McGrath couldn't even win her own congressional district, let alone a Senate race. So right now, it's going to be likely red. Now let's take a look at the lean red states and the lean red. And so first off, we're going to talk about Georgia's main election. I forgot John Ossoff was in the election. I'm not going to lie. So I had it as likely red for the longest time, not knowing Ossoff was in it, because Ossoff's not a bad candidate. He's very conservative for a Democrat. He's one of the blue dog Democrats. Probably a top contender for the Georgia election. Could win the election in 2022. Could. Not going to say he will. That's if he runs, but at the moment, I think Kemp would beat him narrowly. But I think Purdue's going to beat Ossoff. It's going to be a close election. Purdue's going to be in the fight of his life, but he's going to still win the election. He's probably got 6 more years left in him before he's really got to worry. Now, I could just put it safe red because I think the runoff is going to go to a runoff between Loeffler and Collins, but I'm going to put in the lean R column. LTE was saying that it's going to be a Democrat and a Republican. How voting works, that's not how runoffs work. I'm sorry about that, but if anything, Ed Tarver is the strongest Democrat in the race, and Doug Collins is the strongest Republican. But if that's the case, if Collins and Tarver do run, let's go by his logic, I think Collins would win by a lean margin. And that is all the lean red states, lean red races. Now let's take a look at the lean blue races. And that's going to be Colorado. If Romanoff is the nominee, it's going to be likely, because this is a Bernie bro state, and he is a Bernie bro. But Hickenlooper is not a Bernie bro, but still very popular in the state. I think Cory Garner is just dead on his DOA in Colorado. Similar to Doug Jones, but at least he has a fighting chance. At least Colorado is a swing state, I guess you could call it. A battleground state, I guess, but... I think Hickenlooper was just a very popular governor, and Cory Gardner, not a very popular senator, considering he's a Republican senator in a blue state, Bernie bro state. So even if it's Hickenlooper, Romanoff, they've already got the state in the bag, but they still need to campaign or they're going to lose. But just don't write Cory Gardner off yet. If Republicans spend time and money in Colorado, it could get closer. Another lean blue state is Minnesota. Jason Lewis could get this state even closer if we need to. If we get some polling out of Minnesota that puts Jason Lewis in the margin of error, absolutely it'll be a toss-up state. But Jason Lewis, I don't see Minnesota's Senate seat flipping at the moment. Tina Smith is not a strong candidate. Jason Lewis could, but at the moment, I don't see it going to Lewis at the moment. I see it going to Tina Smith by 2 or 3. Same thing with Jeanne Shaheen. Very strong candidate up in New Hampshire. Almost said New Jersey. Up in New Hampshire. She probably would have won by a likely margin, but she voted for impeachment. Just kidding. I could care less about that. But as of right now, Don Bolduc is a stronger candidate than a lot of people give him credit for, and I think he'll pull out a shock winning, or a shock upset by only losing by around 2 to 3 in that race. Now, the rest of these states are all toss-ups. Montana, I think Steve Bullock has a fair chance at winning this race, but again, it is a general. Steve Daines could end up winning it just because of down-ballot voting. Arizona, Martha McSally could win for the same reason, but again, she's not that strong of a candidate. Mark Kelly's running to the right of Kirsten Sinema, and Sinema defeated McSally by 4 or 5. So, Kelly could end up winning by 3 at the end of the day. Who knows? John James and Gary Peters' race in Michigan, I have a gut feeling John James is going to end up winning that race, because he only lost by 6 at the end of the day against Debbie Stabenow, who when the polls had him down by like 20. So that just shows a lot of how John James has that appeal to a lot of voters up in Michigan. No matter which part of Michigan you're in, he's just got that appeal. You live in Michigan, you know who John James is, and unlike Jerry Peters, who some people call him Jerry Peters because nobody knows who the hell the guy is, but also North Carolina. I thought this was going to go to Cunningham, but again, right now I just don't know. I'll give it to Tillis, but because he's starting to give up that ad revenue game. He's getting it up. He's starting to pull out ads attacking Cunningham, which will help his campaign out a lot. Polling is in favor of Cunningham, but barely, which is very good news for Tom Tillis. And the same thing for Maine. At the end of the day, I think Sarah Gideon is most likely going to pull off this seat, but narrowly. If Susan Collins wins, she'll win by less than 1. This is probably the tossiest of up states in the entire race. Maine is, because Susan Collins has always won by a safe margin, and now she's going up. Now she's been voting less of a moderate, more of a conservative, which is not going so well for voters, which is weird, because they put in a Republican, and now they're like, boo! And I'm just like, okay, I'm confused. But here's the final map, 49 to 46, with 5 seats up in the air, so it's still anyone's race. Democrats have to win every single seat that are toss-ups to gain a majority. Republicans only need to win 2, which, if I had to guess, will be Montana and Arizona. If I had to guess. Maybe, or Montana or North Carolina. My bad. Now we're going to do the presidential race. Now let's start filling in these safe states. Washington, California, not New Mexico. Oh, now I can't get rid of it. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Safe blue states, Illinois safe, New York, Vermont, these New England states right up in here. Maine's 1st District. Some safe red states, we all know this and love, the Dakotas, Nebraska at large. We all know this. I'm going to say Iowa's safe. I think Trump is going to do well in Iowa enough to make it safe. He just needs to campaign there as many times as he did back in 2016. He's won the state by a safe margin. That's all he needs to do, in my opinion. There you go. 172 to 129. There you go. Now, let's start filling in the likely R states, or let's just go through the map. Oregon is going to be likely blue. It was only won by, I think, 11 by Clinton, so Trump doesn't need to do that much to make it likely. But if he wants to flip the state in 2020, he's going to have to do a lot. He's going to have to do a lot of campaigning there, put some time and effort in there, though I don't think he should. There are a lot more states he needs to worry about, like the Rust Belt in Arizona. Nevada, I'm going to put that as toss-up. I think Trump could end up winning the state at the end of the day, but I think as of right now, Biden's going to take it by a tilt margin. It's going to be a close race no matter what. Trends are showing that Nevada is going to become a red state sooner or rather than later. Arizona, toss-up. I think Arizona has been trending is opposite direction of Nevada. Same thing with Nevada. Nevada voted to the right of the country in 2018. Arizona voted to the left of the country. A lot of people, I think the Phoenix area is starting to take over the vote in this state, kind of like Richmond and Virginia. And it's not going to help out Republicans at the end of the day. However, New Mexico, I think, is going to be lean. New Mexico and Colorado, you could say, is trending blue, but Trump has been doing so well with the vote, with the people in New Mexico, that his approval is not that bad in New Mexico compared to the rest of the states he lost in 2016. It's not that bad if you look at civics. But that was before this whole virus thing, so who knows? It could be likely. Colorado's likely. Trump not popular in Colorado. Democrats becoming more and more popular, favoring weed. So that's always fun. Why I meant to put Montana safe. My bad. I'm gonna put Nebraska's 2nd congressional district toss-up, because if you were to look at the 2012 to 2016 trends, if you were to add that to 2020, Biden wins the state by 3. So which is not good. It proves that Biden can win Nebraska's 2nd congressional district if he puts enough time and energy into it. It proves that. And Trump needs to, be wary of that. It might be one electoral vote, but that one electoral vote could actually cost him the election. If it ends up being 270, 268, and Biden won Nebraska's 2nd district, yeah, that vote mattered. Texas, I'm gonna go, it's trending blue, but I don't see, Biden doesn't have a chance in hell at flipping the state. He doesn't have a chance in hell making the state close. Trump might do better in the state than he did in 2016, but as of now, putting it in a likely margin. Minnesota, it's going to be a toss-up. I think Trump's going to win at the end of the day. The riots in the state could very well give it to Trump, very well could give it to Biden, because a lot of these rioters are leftists, and a lot of conservatives who are watching it are thinking, this is Joe Biden's fault, not Trump's fault. The Rust Belt, all toss-up. All toss-up. Again, with the riots, a lot of people are looking at this and thinking, oh man, this ain't good. The economy is slipping, even though the economy's on an upward spiral. Upward, up. Even, no matter what you hear, that's just the truth of the matter. Just do your own research. Don't listen to what these idiots have to say. But still, the Rust Belt's going to be close. It could go either way. Hell, Biden might win Michigan at the end of the day. Oregon, I'm going to say likely. He'll win it by 8 or 9. I think a lot of leftists know that Biden's DOA in Ohio. There's nothing he can do. I think even though Biden's targeting Ohio as a state he needs to win, he's not gonna. Virginia, I'm going to put that as lean blue. Like I mentioned before, or I didn't mention this before, but the Second Amendment sanctuary counties, I can guarantee you, are going to have an uptick in turnout. All because of these Second Amendment laws. Governor, what was his name? I can't remember his name. But the Virginia governor, I can't remember his name. It's killing me. But he's passing these Second Amendment laws who are pissing off the conservatives in these deep red counties. And I feel like they're going to have an upsurge in turnout, which is going to help out the Trump campaign. North Carolina, I'm going to say is lean. I've been seeing a lot of channels saying it's going to be tilt R or tilt blue, which, wrong. Also, that one channel who said that North Carolina was going to be lean blue this election, you're wrong. I live in the state. I feel like you just drive from Alexander to Iredell, and you just see nothing but Trump signs. You see little Biden signs. Drive from Alexander to Raleigh, little Biden signs. Drive from Alexander County to Lincoln County, no Biden signs. It's all Trump. You just drive anywhere, from anywhere. You see hardly any Biden signs. You might see 1 or 2 Biden signs, but then you see like 20 Trump signs. He's got enthusiasm in the state. Georgia, it's going to be lean blue. I don't think it's going to be tilt red. Did I say lean blue? I meant lean red. It's trending blue, and it's trending blue fast. Similar to Phoenix. The Atlanta area is really, really blue. It's turning blue. CNN is there, if that tells you anything. But of course, I did see something where it says if you get in Atlanta, if you live in Atlanta, it's the bluest state in the country. But if you get out of Atlanta, oh man, that's a deep turn to the right. That's a deep right, big right turn. As of right now, I'm putting Florida in the toss-up column. I think Biden is going to end up picking Val Demings as his VP, which will help him greatly in the state of Florida. It'll make Florida a lot closer, a lot more competitive. If Biden wants to win Florida, then he has to pick Val Demings. But everyone's saying he's going to pick Harris, which will not help him at all. New Hampshire is going to be toss-up again. Chris Sununu is very popular, and I think he's already thrown his support behind Trump, which helps him greatly. Now, someone's going to tell me that I'm wrong, and I'm going to be like, oh, well, shit. But I still have, but Trump only lost the state by less than 1 in 2016. And trends have been showing that New Hampshire went from safe to lean to tilt, and it could go to the Republican column in 2020. Even though it'll be bittersweet because we'll most likely end up losing the state in 2024 because Trump's not allowed to run for a third term. Man at large, I'm also going to put in the tilt column. I do not think Biden has that appeal up there. I think the New England area is just turning more and more red. It is. If you pay attention, Paul LePage only lost by 3 percentage points in 2018. I could be wrong. I think it was more like 6 or 7. I could be wrong. But anyway, and I think Trump only lost it by 3 in 2016. So, I mean, if you pay attention, like Rhode Island has been trending more and more red. It'll most likely, if Democrats run a bad candidate, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Jersey will all be won by less than 10 by the Democrat. But anyway, guys, this is the big ol', these are the maps on your screen, the Battleground maps of July 2020. And this is the Chaotic One saying peace.